Welcome back, and today we are talking about the Backrooms. Now, I've done a video about liminal space before, and I want to stress these are similar. I would say liminal space is the whole genre, where Backrooms is kind of a thing that's carved out of a concept, and people have added lots of depth to. So it's kind of a world within a concept. That doesn't really help at all, I understand that, but we're going to talk about what the Backrooms is really quick before we jump into it. So the original Backrooms image came from 2018, and the original image is this guy. Just a picture set in a thread of just unsettling, kind of eerie photos. And then about a year later, someone followed up with this post in 2019, and it is the same image, but with a caption now. If you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the Backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. A little bit unsettling, sure. Kind of makes you think liminal space. This is a picture that you'll straight up see in reference to liminal space, so I do count them as related. The main difference, and why I say that they're very different, is because liminal space is just kind of a wide topic, whereas the Backrooms is a universe people have created. And I'll show you what I mean. There's a number of different places where you can get more information about the Backrooms and kind of explore the lore of this concept, but one of the most thorough ones is this wiki called Backrooms. I'll put links for stuff I talk about in the description, so you can look yourself. But basically, the Backrooms is a series of these just vast, kind of empty, kind of eerie, kind of vaguely familiar floors or levels that just span endlessly in every direction. And you could potentially wind up in one if you're not careful, or rather just randomly. I don't know if it's something you can really prevent. The best way I can describe getting into the Backrooms is you can't do it on purpose, from what I know. In the description it says you might accidentally no-clip into the Backrooms. That's not even just gamer lingo, that's like advanced gamer lingo, I guess. I don't know. It's very specific. No clipping would be like, this wall here is solid, right? And in game terms, by default, a player would just walk through it unless there's code saying, hey, when player collides with wall, it's a solid object, right? It won't automatically just... You could just paste in a bunch of objects, but if they don't have any weight to them and they don't have any solidity to them, everything can just go through itself, right? So you have to have it in the code that a player will collide with the wall, otherwise they will go through the wall. So no clipping would be when you don't hit the wall. The collision doesn't register properly, so you just go through it instead. And it happens sometimes as a bug, sometimes there's parts of the terrain in games, especially Bethesda games, that you might be able to walk right through a rock. So that's no clipping. So in real life terms, it is like the world kind of glitching out, where this wall is solid, but one of these days maybe it won't be. Just for a split second it might bug out and I might technically be able to go through it. But say that something happens with the floor, where I just no clip through the floor one day, just in a little section just for a split second, and I no clip through the floor and I'm in the Backrooms. I'm in this alternate dimension kind of weird world of unfinished endless madness. And that's how you get to the Backrooms. So you can't really do it on purpose, nor should you want to, unless you really like almond water. I don't know if there's an official quantity of levels, but on here they have it listed 0 through 999. Not all of them have been filled out. Lots of them have no data. But people have began to fill these out and what each floor entails. And there's several hundred floors that have descriptions and sometimes even pictures and what you should expect from different sections, what kind of creatures you might find there. There's all sorts of creatures people have listed. Death rats. Death rats are entities that can be found in various levels of the Backrooms, with each population being unique depending on the level it's on. Example, there's a species of death rat that is hairless to better cope with the hot temperature of level 2. And there's do's and don'ts. This part's usually a little funny to me because it's usually like do's. Do stay away from them. Don'ts, don't go near them. Do, most are harmless, but it's best to avoid them just in case. Don't try to aggravate them. It's unknown what they do. That's basically the same thing. You don't know if they're harmless or not, so don't aggravate them. Don't aggravate them. You don't know what they'll do. So I don't know. That part's kind of funny to me, but that's just a little minor critique of mine. But it's cool, right? It's pretty cool. And this obviously is a nice source for like if you want to read about it, but there's a lot of media surrounding it. There's quite a few videos by different people that talk about the kind of visual nature of it and the origin. And there's people that have made games out of it. There's a Minecraft mod. There's compilations of different creatures you might find here, and tier lists of worst backrooms entities, that sort of thing. So it's really interesting. Like if you like liminal space as a concept, Backrooms is like even better because it's like liminal space, but they kind of built a story around it that makes it make sense. Like it gives it a reason. Whereas liminal space, it's like, it's just like a weird Photoshop picture that makes me feel a little bit weird, and then that's it. There's no story behind it. There's no story after it. There's no way you'll find yourself there. But the Backrooms is like, there's a way that you could accidentally end up there. There's all sorts of reading you could do to prepare yourself for when you end up in the Backrooms. There's information from people that have made it out, who they call wanderers, I believe, people that are either in the Backrooms or have made it out, I guess. It's interesting. It's really interesting. And the Minecraft mod is actually one I'd recommend. You can explore visually some of the environment of the Backrooms. And, Minecraft is blocky and whatever, but honestly, with how blocky the Backrooms are and how it's just walls, floor, and lights, it actually translates to Minecraft really well. That's why there's actually lots of Minecraft recreations. And if you look at the Backrooms subreddit, there's a lot of videos.
Bazinga!
So yeah, there's all sorts of media created for it, which I think is cool. It honestly reminds me a lot of SCP. SCP is just kind of like infinite amount of creatures that anyone could come up with and can become, SCP 5000, I could come up with, SCP 952, and if there wasn't one for that number, I could make one up and submit it to the wiki or whatever, and then it could become official, because it's all just community-based, it's fan-based. Backrooms is like that, where everyone can kind of add their own ideas and endless creativity to the Backrooms because it's people-generated. So that's why I think this is so cool right here, where these are all individual people that have added these, as far as I know. You have to, it looks like, apply to the site, or at least be cleared to have the power to do that, which I think is good. But that's cool, it's cool. It's creepy, but it's cool. You have so much different stuff to read through if you were really to get into this, and I think that's awesome. I haven't read all of this, obviously. I don't know if anyone has read all of it, but I think one of my favorite things about the Backrooms is this. Almond water. Almond water is a substance found in many levels across the Backrooms. It is a critical source of hydration and slight nutritional value. Almond water is the primary beverage of this horrific void. It's not just water. Like with almond water, you have to get into like, okay, where'd it come from? Like, there's some assembly required with almond water. Whereas water is just, that's how it is. It's how it always is. So I love that someone decided to make almond water the main thing you find. So anyway, that is the back rooms. You probably should stay up here where it's safe. Especially because you probably won't have internet down there to look up all the information you're going to need. You should probably do that reading first before you fall through the floor, because it could happen any day to you, you know? Also, I was really surprised by this. No one has made a level for level 420 yet, which I would have assumed everyone would have just beelined to go do. So, I hope you learned something today. I hope you enjoyed this. It is very, like I said, related to liminal space. To me, it feels like the same sort of vibe, but people have put some work into making this a more real feeling kind of world. That's why I love the internet, because you don't just get like, oh, that's crazy, a wacky picture someone posted. 2 years later, it's an entire like genre of everything, and there's a whole world built in. Everyone's got pictures and descriptions of floors and tactics to survive, and like bro. And some of them are like pretty thorough. Like, look how buggy this one looks. Why does that look like that? What's going on here? Okay, yeah, it looks like someone just took a building and like erased parts of it, or just kind of scrambled it around. But still, like, this is like thorough stuff, you know? Like, this is cool. I don't know if I really sold this as creepy as it's supposed to be, because it's supposed to be a little more unnerving, but I think it's so cool that I don't really like, I'm not like creeped out by it, obviously. I just think it's an awesome fictional world people have come up with. But if I ever end up in the back rooms, it'll be a lot creepier than it is when you're just reading about it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. If you want to watch me play the Backrooms Minecraft, let me know. I'll either do it on the channel or maybe I'll stream it, so because I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if it'd even be a good video. It might be a good stream, because we can kind of like unravel the mystery together. I don't know what to expect, but yeah. So let me know. I'm always looking at the comments. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video.
Bazinga!